Students. So today we have to start with nutrition in bacteria. So bacteria performs autotrophic nutrition as well as heterotrophic nutrition. Then autotrophic nutrition, you better know about the meaning of autotrophic nutrition. Auto, it means self. So when they are able to feed themselves by their own, such mode of nutrition is known as autotrophic nutrition. In case of bacteria, as the bacteria are the primitive organisms on this earth, so at that time they didn't had the chlorophyll pigment, because in five kingdom classification you have studied about the kingdom Protista and the Monera. So they were achlorophyllous. Bacteria were achlorophyllous. It means they didn't had the chlorophyll pigment or the chloroplast. So that is why they were not performing the mode of photosynthesis. So when they were not able to perform the process of photosynthesis, they were able to feed themselves by the chemical energy, and this chemical energy they used to get from the compounds, the complex chemical compounds, and by breaking down of the complex chemical compounds they were able to get the energy. So such examples of bacteria which were performing the chemo-autotrophic mode of nutrition, what we can say, chemo-autotrophic mode of nutrition. Why chemo? Because they were uh, disintegrating or decomposing the complex chemical compounds in their surrounding, and by breaking down of the bonds of the chemical compounds they were getting the energy. So such mode of nutrition was chemo-autotrophic mode of nutrition, and the example of such bacteria is like purple sulfur bacteria. Sulfur, it means they were getting the energy by the breaking of the bonds between the sulfur atoms. Then heterotrophic mode of nutrition. There were two major modes of heterotrophic mode of nutrition shown in bacteria, that is saprophytic and parasitic. So you know about saprophytic, when the organisms get their nourishment from the dead and decaying matter, then such mode of nutrition is known as saprophytic mode of nutrition. Then how do they perform the process of saprophytic mode of nutrition? A specific process, that is extracellular digestion. So what is extracellular digestion? Extra, it means outside, cellular, it means cell. So when the digestion of the food is taking place outside the cell, okay, so these saprophytic bacteria is releasing an enzyme in their surrounding food, and by releasing the enzyme on the surrounding food, this food will come to its soluble state, and this is how the soluble nutrients will be absorbed by the bacteria. So such mode of nutrition is also termed as extracellular digestion, because they used to secrete an enzyme which will convert the complex decaying compounds into its soluble state, and when it will get into its soluble state, it will be absorbed by their body surface or their cellular surface. So this mode of nutrition is also known as extracellular digestion, because the food is getting converted into its soluble state outside the cell. So that is why it is extracellular digestion. Then you know the examples of saprophytic bacteria like methanogen bacteria, very useful for gobar gas plants. Then parasitic bacteria, when the living organism obtains nourishment from the other living organism, that is the host body. Such mode of nutrition is known as parasitic mode of nutrition. Example of such bacteria like Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Such bacteria is found in the human body, and they get the nourishment as well as shelter from the human body. So these were the modes of nutrition in bacteria. Then there are two modes of respiration is shown by the bacteria, that is aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. So in due course of evolution, which mode of respiration came earlier? That is anaerobic respiration. So when the bacteria are able to respire in the absence of oxygen in the surrounding, it is known as anaerobic respiration. and when the bacteria is able to respire in the presence of the oxygen in the surrounding, it is known as aerobic respiration. So one thing you have to note it here, when the anaerobic bacteria will be kept in the aerobic condition, that bacteria will not survive. Okay. So these two modes of respiration is shown by the bacteria. Now the reproduction. Re it means again, production it means formation. So bacteria reproduces by asexual method, and which mode of asexual method? That is binary fission. So as the name is suggesting, binary numbers you have studied in computer. So binary it means 2 and fission it means breaking. So a single bacterial cell will break down into 2 bacterial cells. Such mode of reproduction, asexual mode of reproduction, is known as binary fission. So here one bacterial cell is there, plasma membrane is there, chromosome is there, cell wall is there. So this is the genetic material, and this genetic material should be distributed into the 2 daughter cells equally. So that is why the chromosome will replicate, okay, and it will form one copy of it. And after that, a constriction will start to appear at the middle plate of the bacterial cell. So this constriction will move in the centripetal direction. So a point will come where the constriction point from both the sides will meet together, and one bacterial cell will be divided into 2 bacterial cells with the same amount of genetic material. So this mode of reproduction is known as binary fission, and it is asexual because there is no exchange of genetic material. Then conjugation is the highly primitive type of sexual reproduction. Okay, it is the highly primitive type of sexual reproduction found in the bacteria. So here you are observing 2 cells are there. This is donor and this is recipient. Donor it means it will give, recipient it means it will receive. So it is the chromosomal DNA and it is the chromosomal DNA of this recipient cell. Here in the donor cell, one thing is extra, that is F plasmid. So we can say this cell as F positive and this cell as F negative. F for factor. Okay, F for factor. So plasmid factor F is present in donor cell and it is absent in recipient cell. Now here with the flagella, we have also discussed about pilus and pili. So this positive F factor or donor cell will have the pili. Through the pili, they will make a conjugation bridge. Okay, so these 2 donor cells and recipient cells is coming in contact with each other with the pilus joining the 2 cells together, and this is forming a bridge like structure. So this is known as what? Conjugation bridge. Then through this conjugation bridge, these 2 cells will come in close contact to each other, and the F plus factor will move from the donor cell to the recipient cell. Okay, and after that the F plus factor is present in the recipient cell also. So now also it becomes new donor and it is the old donor. Pilus of the 2 bacterial cell will get separated and it will live its own individual life. So this is how there is exchange of genetic material from one cell to the other cell and with a contact through the pilus. So this is why it is the highly primitive type of sexual reproduction found in bacteria, and this process is known as conjugation. Then spore. Spore is a protective covering and it protects the bacteria in the during the unfavorable condition. So what is it? It is thick and protective wall around the bacterial cell which is formed during the unfavorable condition, and this is present within the cell wall of the bacteria. In your book it is given endospore formation. Actually there is 2 types of spore formation, endo and exo. So when the spore forms inside the cell within the cell wall, it is endospore, and when the spore will be formed, that is a protective layer will be formed outside the cell wall, it is known as exospore formation. Okay, so how spore protects the bacteria. This spore is a hard covering, so it will tolerate the extreme dryness. Okay, this spore will not be destroyed even at the boiling temperature or at the freezing temperature, so the bacteria inside it will remain protected. And this particular covering can tolerate the poisonous chemicals also, so in this manner once again the bacteria will remain tolerant to the poisonous chemicals around it. Okay, so as the favorable condition will be returned back, the bacteria will lead its own normal life. This spore wall will be broken and the bacteria will lead its normal life. Here one thing you have to keep in mind, that spore you will also study in fungi, and in case of fungi this spore will be the reproductive units which will help in reproduction, but the spore in bacteria is only helping in the process of protection, not for reproduction. So it is just an example of showing spore here, spore position of spores. Okay, then outer membrane is there, inner membrane is there, exosporium is there, spore coat. Outside the cell wall, some content of the cell, that is exosporium. This is the spore coat. Inner region is core and the outer region is cortex. Under the microscope the spores will appear like the pink dots. Okay, so this is all for today. Thank you everyone.